When should you not use the no contact strategy to win back your ex? Are there actually certain situations where no contact might make things worse and actually decrease your odds of getting back together? Well, in this video, I'm going to answer those questions and tell you exactly when you should avoid using no contact. I'm Breakup Brad, YouTube's #1 breakup coach since 2013, and I've helped over 130,000 people from around the world get a second chance with their ex. If you want to get my help to win your ex back, you can go to breakupbrad.com/coaching after this video and learn all about how I help clients reverse breakups and build a new, stronger relationship with their ex. Now, like I said, this video is all about no contact. And you all know already what no contact involves, right? You ignore your ex for 30 days after breaking up. They start to miss you like crazy, and hopefully, eventually, they break down and beg to have you back. Now, in many situations, that's exactly what happens when you do use the no contact rule on your ex. But there's a few key times when you do not want to employ the no contact rule. Now, I'll be covering those specific situations shortly, but first, there's one thing that you absolutely must know about no contact. For at least 95% of you watching this video right now who are hoping to get another chance with your ex, using no contact will give you the best possible chance of success. After all, the reason I've been advocating this strategy for over a decade now is because it works. In fact, I see it work literally every single day for my clients, and many of the comments on my past no contact YouTube videos illustrate just how many people use this strategy effectively to win back their ex. So please, if you're not sure if no contact is right for your situation, even after you finish watching this video, you should do two things. First, start employing no contact right now. And second, sign up for my one-on-one coaching so we can work together to develop a strategy to ensure you maximize your chances. See, when in doubt, no contact is almost always the best route to take. It'll almost never hurt your chances if you execute it properly, and it's better than accidentally saying something dumb to your ex that might kill your chances. So unless your current scenario is one of the ones that I'm about to discuss, the default strategy that you should be using will involve no contact. Now, when are those few times when no contact should be avoided? Let's jump into it. Situation number one, when it's been a long time since your initial breakup. So sometimes I'll have clients tell me that they've been broken up for many months or even years already. Now they're hoping to win back their ex long after things ended, and often that means they've already given their ex plenty of time and space. It also typically means that your ex has let go of most of the negative memories and negative feelings that they had about you and your time together, which of course is part of what no contact is actually designed to achieve. Now, in cases like this, employing 30 days of no contact can often be unnecessary. Now, just because it's been months since your breakup doesn't always mean that you shouldn't apply no contact. So let me just quickly describe two different example scenarios and how to apply no contact in each of them. Scenario number one, you broke up with your ex 5 months ago, but since then you've been in regular contact with him or her. You know, you guys text back and forth frequently, you see one another occasionally, and maybe you even agreed to still be friends with your ex. Essentially, you just never really let go of your ex, they're still a part of your life, and they're someone that you talk to all the time. In this kind of situation, you should still apply no contact for at least a few weeks. Because you're still friends, you still see your ex regularly, and you talk with them all the time, you've really never engaged in no contact. And it's only been 5 months since the breakup, which is a long time, but not long enough to make no contact redundant. So apply no contact by not reaching out to your ex anymore, and suddenly start, becoming too busy with your new friends, your new hobbies to find time for your ex. If they do text you, ignore anything but the most essential messages and try to generally give your ex a taste of what life is like when you're not around. Now let's jump into scenario number two. In this scenario, you broke up with your ex 7 months ago, and although you've spoken to them a few times in the early days after the breakup, you've not spoken with them much recently. In fact, it's been several weeks since you last reached out to your ex, and you haven't heard from them lately either. Now, in this kind of scenario, things are different from the first one I described because you've already essentially accidentally applied what it really is a period of no contact. So employing, another 30 days of radio silence usually isn't necessary in this kind of case, and waiting longer before you reach out to your ex could be a mistake. Now, time is of the essence when you're in this kind of situation where it's been, many months since the breakup, so you can usually skip no contact and reach out to your ex right away. If your initial attempts to contact him or her don't get a reply, or they just totally crash and burn, you will need to wait at least a week or two before you try again. But generally speaking, you can skip no contact if your breakup was long ago and you're no longer in regular contact with your ex. Now guys, please keep in mind that in the situations like the two that I just described, and especially the second scenario, you're likely facing an uphill battle. There is a decent chance that you may not succeed in winning them back, unfortunately. That's not to say that you shouldn't still try, but please also be ready for the possibility that you'll need to move on and find someone new if your ex doesn't start showing more interest in reconnecting soon. Now, if you guys are wondering whether you still have a chance to win your ex back, just take my free quiz right now at breakupbrad.com/quiz. And in 2 or 3 minutes, after you answer just a few basic questions about your situation, you'll be given a detailed breakdown explaining your chances of getting back together and what your next step should be to make that happen. Again, you can take my free quiz at breakupbrad.com/quiz. Situation number 2, when your ex is getting angry because you're not responding. So maybe you've already been ignoring your ex for a while. If so, good job. You're likely doing the right thing. But some people don't respond very well when their ex engages in no contact, especially if things ended on good terms. So occasionally, you might find yourself in a situation where your ex is starting to get angry or upset that you're not talking to them anymore. Now, if this is the case for you, where your ex is getting annoyed by your lack of contact, then it's actually a good sign in some ways because it does show that your ex still cares. And up to a point, continuing to use no contact in this type of scenario is actually more important than ever. You need your ex to know that you will not be around and available to provide emotional support or to keep them entertained while they sort of get over the post-breakup heartache and loneliness. Limiting contact with your ex basically says, get back together with me, give our relationship another chance, or I'm gone from your life for good. And that kind of urgency, that pressure that it puts on your ex can often be enough to make them change their mind and decide to take you back. However, this only applies up to a certain point. I mean, as much as you want to be ignoring your ex and sticking to the no contact rule, there may come a point where you need to break the silence in order to avoid causing major conflict. Now here I'm talking about situations where you've cut off all communications with him or her for at least a week or two, and during that time they've tried to reach out to you multiple times, and they're clearly getting more and more frustrated by your lack of response. Now, in that kind of scenario, it can be a good idea to break the silence just in order to sort of calm things down and make sure that your ex doesn't think, that you're holding a grudge or trying to get revenge. So if your ex is clearly upset or becoming angry that they haven't heard from you, I recommend responding to your ex's next message with, just a quick text reply to say something like, "Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I've just been really busy and I'm focused on moving on." Now, don't let your ex use this opportunity to try and drag you into any kind of longer discussion. And really, don't feel the need to elaborate or share any kind of emotion with your ex. Just make it clear that you're not intentionally being an asshole to them. You're just moving on with your life since they apparently don't want to be with you anymore. Now, that's perfectly reasonable. And as long as you're reasonably friendly and cordial to your ex, they have no reason to continue getting upset or try and turn things into an argument. And once you have made it clear to your ex that the lack of contact isn't anything personal or intended to hurt them, then you can usually continue with no contact until you've completed roughly 30 days. So really, this is more of a situation where you should break no contact briefly rather than avoid it altogether. Situation number 3, when you have children together or shared responsibilities. Now, this one is really common, especially if you're a bit older. Unfortunately, you can't just completely disappear if you have serious shared responsibilities with your ex, like parenting or paying bills. Most everyday topics can be safely avoided, obviously. For example, if your ex is asking you, "How's your mom?" or "Where are you going this weekend?" Anything that isn't pressing and genuinely important, that type of stuff can safely be ignored during no contact. But if your ex is asking you to pick up your daughter from school next week, or if you still live together and your ex is asking you to pay your half of the utility bills that are due tomorrow, those are the sorts of rare things that you can't just ignore, at least not for 30 days. So in those cases, you'll need to handle things as best as possible by doing whatever it is that you need to do, agreeing which days you'll drive the kids to school, sort out who's going to go to the bank to pay overdue bills, etc. Just be polite, friendly, upbeat, and stick to those essentials. Now, for anyone watching who's still living with their ex, I've actually made a whole video about that topic and how to adapt no contact to situations where you still live together, which you can watch by clicking the little icon here in the corner or by clicking the link in the description below. Now, before we move on, I want to stress the importance of being upbeat and positive in these kinds of interactions. If you must break no contact, and this is one of those times where you can and should do so, use it to your advantage by being more friendly and more happy than your ex is going to be expecting from somebody who's just been through a breakup. So in situations like this, I like to call the strategy modified no contact. Basically, no contact adapted to suit the situation you're in as best as possible. Now, most people won't have to worry too much about this, But the no contact tactic can definitely still be very effective, even if it's more of a modified no contact. At least it can be, as long as you actually do what I've just talked about. If you do that, it still will work. Again, please watch my other video on this topic for a more in-depth guide on how to handle this kind of situation. Just click on the link in the description below. Situation number 4, when your ex is actually asking you to take them back. Now, this is a no-brainer, obviously, but if your ex is actually saying to you outright that they want to get back together, well, don't continue with no contact. Instead, just wait a few hours and then reply with something calm and not overly eager sounding to sort of signal your agreement. So you could maybe say something like, I agree. I think we can make things work if we give it another try. Meet tomorrow for drinks after work. And then, you can start to see your ex in person, start flirting like crazy, and start rebuilding the chemistry. Don't hesitate to build sexual tension and even initiate, some sexy time as soon as the opportunity presents itself, as that kind of thing can help seal the deal and get your ex to commit to giving your relationship a fresh start. Definitely don't get into any serious conversations with your ex at this point. Don't try to talk about how you've missed them or how you're going to change when you're back together again. Just be calm, don't get overexcited, and take it slow. Now, if your ex isn't saying outright that they want you back, if instead they're saying things like, I don't know, I miss you, or I wish you were here right now, well, then that's a completely different story than if they were clearly stating their desire to get back together. Now, in this kind of situation, where they're just kind of dropping some strong signals that they still have feelings for you, but they're not obviously asking you to take them back, then you still need to stick to no contact as much as possible. Now, I'm not going to go into the psychology of what's going on inside your ex's head when they say this kind of thing after a breakup, but usually it's a result of internal conflict. Your ex really does miss you if they tell you that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're ready to take you back. That's why no contact is still extremely important and effective in this kind of situation, and you should definitely stick to it if you do receive this kind of mixed message from your ex. Now, I've also made a previous video about understanding these kinds of mixed messages from your ex, which you can check out after this video is over, and I'll put a link to that one in the description below as well. Now, that's 4 situations where you may not want to employ my no contact strategy. But I do know there's going to be some of you out there watching this video right now that still have questions or who are still facing a unique scenario that I didn't cover. Now, I'd be happy to learn about the details of your specific breakup and help you come up with a plan to maximize your chances of getting back together, which may or may not involve using no contact, which of course is something we can discuss. To get my ongoing help and guidance, all you have to do is sign up for my one-on-one coaching program at breakupbrad.com/coaching. I promise it's more affordable than you're expecting, and I promise that I can at least help you ensure that you get the absolute best possible chance of getting your ex back. Again, learn more and sign up now at breakupbrad.com/coaching. And thanks for watching, beautiful people of YouTube. I hope you found this video helpful. Remember to have faith in no contact, trust the proven strategies and tips that I've shared in this video, and sign up for my one-on-one coaching if you find yourself in a unique situation that you don't know how to handle. Until next time, best of luck out there, and thanks for watching. Bye.